Complaining about your Twitter haters is like so old. It's like somebody complaining about their fantasy football team that lost last week. Oh my God, can you believe that last touchdown? No.
It's so 2012.
Right?
Like, come on.
People have haters on Twitter.
Depends if you have burner accounts or
you also have $28 million. It's okay.
That's all I'm saying. Let's take a look at Melo and the Thunder, where they're at. $117 million in guaranteed salary before dealing with Paul George, Jeremy Grant, and the other free agent. Of course, you know, they can, quote, go over the cap to re-sign their own guys. Again, though, the Thunder knew this was in Melo's deal. He had an early termination option, but nobody on earth expected him to take it. So this is a bed they made.
Yes.
How do they lie in it?
Well, look, now they have all the control. Like, they can decide we're going to waive and stretch him. They can ask him to do a no trade. They can ask him to waive his no trade clause. They can do a buyout. Like, the ball is now finally in their court. This is where the Knicks wanted to be the whole time.
Well,
they just had too many years left on the deal.
To take a buyout, he would have to agree to a buyout.
Correct.
Right? To waive the no trade clause, he would have to agree to waive it. That means that is kind of the position the Knicks were in, and they held each other hostage.
Well, but
for
they
a while.
had so many more years on the deal. This is just a one-year deal. This is just 1 year. They can waive and stretch him, and it's not that it doesn't cripple them salary cap-wise. And I think, you know, you have to look at all your options right now. He's already publicly stated he doesn't want to come off the bench. He doesn't love the role that he was in. So you either challenge him and say, okay, well, then you have to make more of your three-pointers. Okay, then you have to play that role better. Or you do what the Knicks did, which was then publicly undercut him and make him want to leave.
That was awesome.
I look at it the other way. I look at it.
Can we not do that? Can we not have an NBA team undercutting its own players ever again?
Yeah, ever again.
It's just such.
For sure.
I'm going to say words I'm not allowed to say.
I know. I was like,
go ahead.
Keep us employed, Rachel.
Yes.
Keep us employed. Look, I think I'm looking at it the other way. If Paul George does leave, which some of us think that he might, right? Yep. They're going to need him, potentially. Somebody else is going to have to be able to shoot shots and take shots. It can't be just Russ all the time. So someone's going to have to take the pressure off him. And maybe Melo thrives in a second role as opposed to the third role, where he clearly wasn't comfortable being the third guy in Oklahoma City. I mean, he went as far as to say there wasn't even a plan. So if they have to keep him, I don't think it may be the worst thing. I don't look at him as a contender, but I think it could help Melo's game a little bit.
That's interesting. Do you think Carmelo Anthony will be in a Thunder uniform at the start of the season?
I think so. I think it's hard to move him now. I mean, the only thing I could see is you kind of swap him for somebody else in a similar position. We're still waiting on DeAndre Jordan. We're still waiting on certain guys.
You were saying waive and stretch and trade clause.
I think they keep him, and I think that you take your time with it because he becomes easier and easier to move as the season goes on and you see where you're at and he's at.
How about another player on the move? Maybe Kawhi Leonard, maybe or maybe not.